So look where we are, back in the unit with Sweet Sally, my year 2000 986 Porsche Boxster. And I've done a bit of a series on this car now, so it feels rude not to bring you along on this next chapter. So we rebuilt the front suspension on it in a previous video. We gave it a bit of a service. I had to fit, well, I didn't personally, a very skilled man with his needle and thread fitted a new rear window for me. And we kind of completed all these necessity jobs, all these things that need done, and now we're getting on to the funner stuff. So one thing I'd mentioned is I find this car quite quiet. It's quite pedestrian. Unless you're really getting after it, then you get a bit of intake noise, but the exhaust is so quiet on it. I know there's a couple of modifications you can do and so on, but I wanted something a bit more significant, but at the same time, I sound like an old man here. I didn't want it to be noisy all the time. So thanks to Spider Performance, I think we found the perfect solution here. Let me show you. And here it is. Before I show you though, I need to explain the context of it. So this is a Boxster's rear section, the exhaust here. It sounds a bit rude actually, doesn't it? Rear section. But this is the rear section of the exhaust. And what you've got is these U-bends. See this here? So you've got the catalytic converter, it goes into the U-bend and it goes into the back box itself. Now, what we've got here is a replacement for the U-bend, essentially. So get a load of this. So it's the same U, as you can see where I'm holding it here, but with an additional bit of pipe here that's just wide open. There's a little valve on there. And the idea is, you can imagine, this is, well, in practice, is just gonna slot in place of that old U-bend, and then through vacuum, we can activate the valve and basically have a bit of a straight through system. Well, I say straight through, it's a straight through after the cat. Anyway, let's get to it. The only man to pry off some rusty exhaust clamps whilst wearing a Rolex. You might wonder why we've gone straight for the nuclear option in the form of our grinder, and it's because if you get a load of these, that's definitely a 25-year-old bracket. These ones have held up okay, and we also got sent all new brackets, so we can just chop these off. Not even going to attempt to remove that in any other manner. Nice. There you go. Oh, beautiful. So here we go, you can get a better look at it now. So the old piece, and you can see, start to envisage how that's just going to slot in neatly. It's going to sound pretty good, doesn't it? Right, and then I just grab that and there you go.
Hold that if you just fucking wiggle. Yeah.
You got it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So here we go with the vacuum lines. One running over there. Gonna need to watch it on the cat there. That gets very hot. Running across to the other side, and then a T-piece where they come together and feed up to the top of the car, because obviously we need to feed it some electricity and also give it a vacuum from somewhere, the inlet manifold somewhere, I would presume. I was just explaining to Junior there that I've never actually seen the engine on this car. This is the first time seeing it, bearing in mind I've only owned it for a number of months, but you can start to see why I haven't seen the engine. The rigmarole in order to get to it, you remove the little cubby, the carpet, and then it's got this other cover on it, so they fair buried the engines away in these. Still made them look very pretty though, didn't they? So we're just working out where we can take the vacuum from, and then obviously the other thing we need is power. So we've got some little solenoids here. You can maybe see the red and blue wire, so we can take our power feed from there, we can take our vacuum from there and just feed it down the back. And check that out for a mounting point for the vacuum valve. It's like they thought about this. They knew you were going to put a valved exhaust on. That will give you a little mounting point there, make it easy on you. So we've now got everything plumbed in. Okay, it's not very neat, but it's all there, which means we can now get the key in and test whether it's receiving from the remote. Right, so I'm guessing we're going to hear a click or something then. A beep?
Yep. Yep, there you go.
Sweet.
There you go.
So it's getting the signal then.
You can feel it as well clicking, so there we go. I know it's all working.
Spot on.
So now what we can do is tidy everything up and then get it all put away.
Awesome, let's do that.
Yeah.
There we go, T-piece in place. Now the job is just to get it all up well out of the way, because obviously these cats, they get hot, so it needs to avoid these. So there we go, completely installed and ready for the first start. Here's hoping we've now gave this wee car the voice it deserves. Right, go for it, Junior. Right, so it sounds like that started. That sounds pretty similar to stock. Can you give it just a wee rev, Junior? Right, and then on should mean on with the noise. Let's see. Right, okay. Yeah, that's definitely worked. That's definitely worked. Wow, what a difference that has made. And then you can just back to stock again. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's gonna make me love this car so much more. It's the one little thing that was missing, but I didn't want it to be boomy all the time. It's gotten a bit dark now. This has taken a little bit longer than we expected to, if I'm completely honest. So what we'll do is, I think the car is just gonna sit here overnight now, and then tomorrow we'll get it out and I'll show you what it's like on the road. Valves open, valves closed. So I'll see you then. Okay, so it's next day. All I've thought about is taking this car for a drive. I cannot wait to hear it on the move. One thing I did notice moving it out of the unit is the valve stays closed. So even if you've turned the car off and restart it, the valve's still closed. So if you've got neighbours and stuff like I do, means you're not going to annoy them too badly. Now the weather has gone a bit Scottish on us today, so the roof is going to need to remain up. I don't think it's really going to matter. We're going to hear this anyway, judging by how obnoxious it was in the unit last night. Let's just remind ourselves again. So there's valve closed, valve open. Hopefully this little mic's picking it up. Oh my God. Right, let's get a bit of heat into the car and then we'll get our foot in it a little bit, shall we? See, this is exactly what I wanted, because going along normal like this, it's just exactly as the car was. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? The same box and everything's still in place. I guess that's the only little caveat of doing this modification, is if your rear back box, given that these cars are now, what, 25 years old, if it's not in good shape, then this wouldn't work. You need an exhaust that's already in quite good shape. Right, it's not heated up yet, so I'm not going to be able to gun it just yet, but let's just open that valve and see how it sounds on the move. Right, and that makes me double sure that I made the right decision, because having an exhaust that is that noisy at all times, yeah, that's just not me anymore. Maybe when I was 17, not anymore though. Right, okay, we got a bit of heat in the car now. Let's see how it sounds when we get our foot in it. Oh my God. That is ludicrous. That sounds incredible. I tell you what though, it is obnoxiously loud. Pop and bang. Yes, 100%. Ah, that is the business. It just makes the car so much more enjoyable, I think. And I tell you what, I bet now, if I hit off, yeah, we're back to, I'll do the same as I just done. Yeah, you hear next to nothing, don't you? But with that open, it's a different car altogether. Oh, jeez. That works an absolute treat, doesn't it? That is the best of both worlds. I tell you what, there's one feature I would like to see on it. I had a remote like this with my Nissan GT-R, and it also had an auto setting on it. So as you were driving along like this, it would close the valves, keep everything nice and quiet, but if you put the foot down, it would automatically open. The only thing with this is you can either have nothing or you can have it all. For now, I'm going to choose to have it all, however. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you want to get this exhaust set for your Boxster, I'll add a link in the description below. You can go off and grab one there. Sadly, no discount voucher in it or anything like that, but it's so worth it. It is worth the money. Go and get one.